It so happens our mother is a marriage counselor, Judy says to the boys. That's why we think we know a few things in this area and why we get so worked up listening to Bob. Yes, says Jody. We know a few things, and I'm sure our mother would be torn between laughing and crying to hear somebody say that being in a marriage should be like living in a war zone. Yes, says Judy. What a terrible idea, and it's so stupid, too. To think there can be no honey in a marriage, as you put it, Bob, without the stinging of arguments and acrimony and strife. Oh, yes, says Jody. It's so stupid. You should be ashamed. You should hang your head. You should even go jump in the river. A few minutes later, as the five of them are walking back towards the house, and after Big Bob has made a comical pretense of being ashamed and going off to jump in the river, Frank and Ben mention that they are both anxious to take a dip in the pool. At the very same moment, Bob, without the boys noticing it, winks at the Dewey sisters and then says to them, "Well, you'll just have to wait a bit until we get the game of strip tag organized. There are special costumes to be worn, teams to be chosen, and rules that have to be understood to avoid any immodest or immoral behavior." While the girls try to choke back their laughter, the big man goes on as if he had said nothing unusual. To give you an idea of what I mean, a player must touch another player no higher than the knee. A player who is so tagged must then take off a part of the specially designed costume he's wearing. But if a player touches or grabs another player above the knee, then the offending player must himself take off a piece of clothing. At this point, the boys stop abruptly and try to figure out why the Dewey sisters are paying so much attention to a bush that, like so many of the other bushes in the immense Beaupre backyard, is fantastically shaped, while the one that the Dewey sisters are looking at is pruned to look like a young girl. Others they saw just a short time ago are pruned to look like a turtle, a mouse, a caterpillar, and a rabbit. The boys find the way the sisters are acting now odd, because when they were walking with them towards the river from the tennis court, they acted as if they were perfectly familiar with each and every one of these horticultural oddities. Frank turns to Bob and asks, "Is this for real, or is this one more of your jokes?" Instead of answering him, Bob points to a small building ahead of them. "That's the changing room. You will find the team uniforms there. Blue and gold for one side, green and silver for the other. The uniform is pretty elaborate to make the game interesting and, of course, to keep it going for some time. It consists of a pair of goggles, elbow pads, t-shirt with number on the back, floppy shorts to be worn over a bathing suit, specially designed sneakers, and a skull cap."